In Changsha, China, my husband and I went to a small tea house hidden in an alley. We ordered a few simple local snacks and small dishes and spent only 50 yuan, about $7. But what surprised me was not the price. It was how lively this place was. Recently, I have seen some beautifully designed shopping malls and commercial spaces that looked modern, but did not feel very busy. So why was this simple little tea house hidden in an old alley full of people? Hi, I'm Len. I'm a Chinese mom sharing quiet and real everyday life in China. Before reaching the tea house, we walked along a century-old street about 400 meters long, close to the downtown commercial area of Changsha. The street still keeps a bit of old Changsha street life, with old storefronts, local snacks, and small creative shops, making it a nice place to wander and take photos. Then we turned into a small, unassuming alley. If you were just passing by, you might not expect a popular tea house to be hidden inside. But the red signs, hanging lanterns, and old walls already made the place feel different from the modern shopping streets outside. In a corner of the alley, I was drawn to a small traditional Chinese sugar painting stall. A few young people had just bought some sugar paintings, and the stall owner was about to make them. So I stopped and watched for a while. Sugar painting is made by pouring melted sugar onto a flat surface and shaping it into animals, flowers, or other patterns. It is both a snack and a small piece of folk art. Seeing young people still interested in something so traditional made this old alley feel even more alive. In the end, the stall owner made a sugar painting of the Eight of Circles, a mahjong tile. I guess these young people must really like playing mahjong. To support the stall owner's small business, I didn't buy a sugar painting. Instead, I bought 3 boxes of traditional handmade candies. These were some of the simple childhood snacks we had more than 30 years ago, when children didn't have many choices. The entrance of the tea house was very simple and traditional. Instead of a bright modern sign, it used an old-style plaque as its storefront sign. The old factory walls were still kept, along with the original-looking doors and windows. Even the old well in the small front courtyard was still there. When I pushed open the plastic curtain and stepped inside, it almost felt like walking into another time. The buzz of voices hit me right away. There were people everywhere. On the left side of the entrance was a cashier counter designed to look like an old supply and marketing cooperative. In earlier decades in China, these were local stores where people bought everyday goods before modern supermarkets became common. Even the staff were wearing uniforms inspired by that period. On the right side, there was another counter decorated like an old-style cooperative shop, selling snacks, tea, and small local products. Everything felt nostalgic, but at the same time, the place was full of real people and real noise. My husband had already found a seat on the second floor. Following the general direction he told me, I walked upstairs to look for him. Because the tea house was so crowded, even finding a place to sit took some real effort. I finally found my husband and sat down. The second floor was almost full too, because this was an old factory space. The ceiling was very high, and the whole building felt wide and open. But with so many people inside, the air conditioning seemed a little overwhelmed. My husband went back downstairs first to order what he wanted, while I stayed at the table and waited. Data service here is very simple. Customers go to the cashier counter on the first floor to order, then carry the food and drinks back to their own small tables. There are no waiters bringing everything to you. This kind of self-service style saves a lot of labor cost. And in China, more and more casual restaurants and tea houses are using this model. One of the snacks my husband brought back was pickled bayberries, peaches, and ginger. This is actually one of my favorite summer snacks. Every Junyo, when bayberries are in season, I also make it at home. I even shared a vlog on my channel about how I made it. I had a piece and of course, I still think mine tastes better. Then I went downstairs to order some food. Looking at the prices written on the small blackboard, I could see why this place felt so approachable. Some items cost less than $1, and even the more expensive ones were under $5. There were also quite a few choices, so people could spend very little or order more, depending on what they wanted. That kind of flexibility makes the place feel easy to enter, easy to stay in, and easy to come back to. Finally, my order was ready. I got candied cherry tomatoes, cold tofu skin, and sweet fermented rice with egg. Together, these three dishes cost 30 yuan, which is about $4. They looked really appetizing, and the portions were quite generous too. So this was our Chinese-style afternoon tea. No delicate cakes, no fancy tableware, and no quiet background music. Just a small table, a few simple local snacks, a bowl of sweet fermented rice with egg, and the sound of people talking all around us. Sitting there, I think I began to understand why this place was so lively. People are not only looking for beautiful places to take photos. Sometimes they just want somewhere affordable, relaxed, and full of real life. A place where they can sit down, eat something simple, and spend the afternoon without too much pressure. Maybe the energy of everyday life has not disappeared. It has just moved to places like this. If you ever come to China, I hope you can also visit places like this. Not only the famous tourist spots, but also the small local corners where everyday life is happening. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you have a peaceful and happy day.